We all have things we'd rather keep private, like Wi-Fi passwords and family photos, healthcare and banking information. But for some people, privacy is more than a personal preference. It's a professional necessity. Journalists rely on building trust with their sources. That means keeping their identities, locations, and communications safe. So, how does encryption unlock the truth? These stories rock the world, and all of them started with an anonymous source. But sources are people, and when they share information, they put themselves at great personal risk.
In the mid-2000s, I got a tip about a potential genetic modification to the coca plant in South America. And so I went to Colombia to investigate this, and I got a plant geneticist to talk with me. He took me to a bar in a off the beaten path corner of Bogota, and then he explained that there was some very serious risks that he was running by engaging in this conversation, not the least of which was that the narco-traffickers probably wouldn't want him to be talking to me.
With over 20 years of investigative reporting under his belt on stories like the Iraq War, South American drug cartels, and diamond heists, he knows all too well the risks that sources take when they come forward.
In order to be an investigative journalist, you have to build trust with sources. And without that trust, then you're not going to be able to get the story. Nobody's going to talk to you if they might get physically hurt or killed by the people that they're talking about.
Hostile environments are dangerous for sources and journalists alike. Today, nearly 300 journalists are imprisoned worldwide.
There's been times where I've been threatened. I've been kidnapped. The risks are real.
Without protecting source privacy, countless important stories would never be told. Standard text messages and calls don't always have enough defense against hackers or other bad actors. That means that maintaining privacy can take a lot of legwork. In-person meetings, document drops, and secure phone lines are all part of the job, and that can be time-consuming.
It is dangerous. You want to be respectful of the people that are putting their trust in you, and part of that trust is that you are encrypting appropriately. That's part of the new era of being an investigative journalist.
To understand how tools like WhatsApp are changing that experience, it's important to understand end-to-end encryption. Encryption scrambles a message so that it can't be read without a key. And that end-to-end part means that no third party, not even the messaging app itself, has that key. Only the sender and recipient can decrypt the message. While encryption has been around for roughly 4,000 years, it was mostly a tool of governments and spies for millennia. But now, encrypted messaging apps are available to anyone with a smartphone. The most popular encrypted messaging app, WhatsApp, works across platforms and has over 2 billion global users alone. While end-to-end encryption is a powerful tool, privacy requires multiple layers of protection.
As encryption technology spreads around the world, hopefully one of the good effects of it is that people who have information about bad actors around the world will be empowered to share that information with journalists.
More security and more trust lets journalists develop more sources. And that matters because confirming a story with multiple sources, even anonymous ones, is the gold standard for investigative journalism.
There are clear examples of how the modern digital era has allowed for real positive investigative journalism, such as WikiLeaks or the Panama Papers, similarly.
News organizations have embraced these tools and have seen results. By making end-to-end encryption technology so accessible, privacy is right at our fingertips. And that doesn't just revolutionize the landscape of investigative journalism, it changes the way all people live online. From who you message to what you message about, to your photos, videos, and calls. Even if you don't have earth-shattering tips, your privacy is always worth protecting.